The other thing I wanted to ask about was, you see it every once in a while, the untitled 2010 Our Lady Peace album. What's the deal there?
Could be 2010.
Yeah, it's kind of a work in progress. You know, we're in the middle of a tour right now, and we worked on some songs before we hit the road, and just the way this band operates now, we just have complete freedom. So I think after the tour's done, you know, I'm going to put out a solo record, but we're also just going to continue to record songs, and once we get 9 or 10 or 11 we like, we'll put out a record. So it's foreseeable that it could come. Well, it's going to come a lot sooner than the last record. It's not going to be 4 years. It could be, you know, the end of this year or right at the beginning of next year. The great thing is just we have the power, man. We have the conch.
Well, we'll come back to that, because I'm getting the sense that having going on the road and performing these 2 albums from early on in your career, that there is a little bit of a re-energization going on.
I mean, it kind of started with Burn Burn. You know, after we did Healthy and Paranoid Times with Bob Rock. That was the second record we did with him. And it was kind of a, I'm not going to say it was a disaster, because first and foremost, we love Bob and think he's a great guy. We got lost as a 4-piece unit in that record, and I think Bob would probably admit that he got even a little lost. Too many songs recorded, too many you know, cooks in the kitchen. Our record company in New York was very hands-on and was coming off of Gravity, which was a big record for us and very successful in the U.S., and they wanted Gravity Part 2, you know. Can you blame them? Not really, but we've never been that band, you know. After Clumsy did really well, we went and did Happiness, which is completely different, and then Spiritual Machines, we just kept getting further away. So Healthy and Paranoid Times was difficult, and after getting away from that and touring, and then having some time away from each other, the way we made Burn Burn really set us off on this new direction. And it's, you know, it was really about coming full circle and getting back to the 4 of us just trusting our instincts, no different than we did before we even had a record deal. So that kind of gave us the confidence to do a tour like this, to go and be ballsy and say we're going to do Clumsy and Spiritual Machines full on, try to recreate these records, especially Spiritual Machines, which is a record that is just layers and layers of stuff, but it's just the 4 of us. No, we're not playing the tracks, there's nothing. It's just a rock band trying to do something that's on record a little bit more than just a rock band, but it's worked out so well now, and I think, like you said, the confidence and the energy of this band is just, it's at 10, and it's been, maybe we're slow learners, but we finally got here, and it's a really great place to be.
Yeah, once we started playing together on this tour as a group, we just felt, you know, how important it is just to, you know, be a performance-based band. And that's what this record kind of was just us getting into a room, songs we like, mics up and playing. And when we go on the road now, it's about getting to a level on stage and communicating on a level that works for us, and that's what kind of drives us. And we're finding that live now isn't that much different than the studio, you know.
Here's something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. We are going to do a live ongoing history of new music. You'll see it happen, then we'll package it and put it together in a nice radio program. We'll distribute it all across North America. But we've done this before with Sloan, and we've done it with Matt Good, and it's just a really cool opportunity to go through your career and explain to everybody what actually happened. You know, let's not rely on Wikipedia entries. Let's not rely on all music guide entries or you know, what somebody has put on a website someplace. This is your opportunity to, you know, tell it exactly like it happened.
Do we need a lawyer?
You know, I've dealt with you often enough on other projects, and yeah, a lawyer would be helpful. So we have Rain, we have Jeremy, we have Mike, and we have we have Steve, and we have
already.
Jesus. Okay, already. Okay, I'll do that again. We have Rain, we have Jeremy, we have Steve, and we have Duncan. So we're ready to go. And the first thing I want to do is there's precious little prehistory about you guys. A lot of people came in with Naveed. There's this band out of Toronto that is more or less fully formed with this extremely mature-sounding debut album. And the question a lot of people had was, where the hell did you guys come from?
Some little dingy rehearsal warehouse in Mississauga, basically. I mean, we were basically making, we were this kind of new band and recording songs, just kind of demoing stuff.
But when did you start? It was around 92, right?
Yeah, probably just a little bit earlier when we formed, but went through a couple member changes. And
I joined in like April '93.
But we we spent some time in Mississauga, literally in like a really dingy rehearsal space. It wasn't a rehearsal space, just a big open warehouse space. And we set up there for a few months and started writing these songs, demoing stuff.
Well, where did you guys meet? How did you even begin to come together?
Well, I mean, Duncan and I went to high school together, but he wasn't even in the band right then.
Yeah, actually, you guys formed in '90 because I came and played with you in your dingy warehouse space in '90.
You did?
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know, just to jam, you and me. And you were like, hey man, I got this band, you want to join it? And I was going to school in a different city.
Right.
That was 90.
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't anything until this one demo tape. It was funny because I'd met some guy, some criminal that called himself a producer, downtown Toronto.
This is where we need the lawyer?
Well, no, I wish I could remember his name because I would like to say it get it live on tape. But
the lawyer.
George something. Anyway, he offered us this contract that was I didn't know anything.
Well, how old are you?
21, 20. I was at U of T, and looked at this contract. I was like, great. Basically for me, it was like I walked into the studio and he kind of said, we're going to have to make a record. Found out later that we would have to pay for it and give him 50% of everything for the rest of our lives. But what happened was, through a friend of my uncle's, we got hooked up with Arnold Lanny, who owned a studio not far from actually where we were rehearsing and writing and trying to get this band together. So one day we just popped over there and showed the contract to Arnold and his brother, who was a manager, Rob, and his partner, Eric Lawrence. And they were actually, very small, little mom-and-pop operation all together, the studio and the management company all together in this little warehouse. And they just said, look, Arnold sat us down and said, if you sign this, it's a death of you as an artist. You're not going to go anywhere. This guy's going to own you. You're going to quit and probably, get in the construction business. And so we trusted Arn and really thanked him for doing that. And he said, look, well, show me what you're doing. We played him a few songs, and we went in there late did the whole weekend thing late at night. Went in after some paid people went in. They finished. We went in from 11 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning, and did that over a course of a couple weekends, and did this 3-song demo that I ended up taking to New York to CMJ. Mm-hmm. And literally just a black tape with Our Lady Peace on it. Handed it out to a bunch of different labels, and all of a sudden Geffen calls and Sony calls, and then Warner here calls, and literally 2 weeks later we're at Arnold's studio, and we only had those 3 or 4 songs on the demo.
What were those songs on that tape?
Julia, Neon Crossing.
The early Birdman was probably.
No.
It was called
Neon Crossing.
It was called Nobody's Wrong.
Yeah, Nobody's Wrong. That's right.
Which became the Birdman.
Became Birdman.
And another song that I don't think made the final record, but it was just this. We were sitting there with all these people wanting to see us. We hadn't really played live. We hadn't got a chance to make any more music or demos in those. But we had Rob and Eric and even Arnold saying, well, this is an amazing thing. These guys want to come up and fly to see you and this and that. And maybe you should just come in the studio, set up like you're going to record stuff, and play them what you have. And so we did. They organized a bunch of meetings over the course of 2 days. All these A&R people flew in and came to see us, and it was still a little overwhelming. And basically what we did at that point was Sony was the one label that kind of said, you know what, you guys have a really good thing going. Don't rush this. Just whatever path you're taking, just keep going down that, and we'll be your supporters. So the record deal we ended up signing was really more of like an indie deal. It was a very small amount of money.
$150 a week, I think we were on.
Yeah, it was really nothing. But all it was to facilitate what we had envisioned and wanted to do with the band, and that was just to keep kind of writing and recording, and not be forced to rush a record or anything.